Electroblade. Toku for 2. Activate!
Welcome back to another edition of Toku for 2, W. Today I've got our standard co-host with me. I've got Will. Say hello, Will.
Hello, Will.
And Paul. Say hello, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Awesome. So anyways, this is Sean, a.k.a. Kenzuketa here. So we've got our next 4 episodes of this sub-series of Toku for 2W called Space Sheriff Gavan Rewind View. I'm gonna have to try to remember how to say that because, yeah, let's try to rewind on that because that's exactly what the show does multiple times.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there was a lot of that.
Oh
man,
and it was horribly placed.
Some of it was very silly.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly silly.
That's great.
I do want to get into it, but I want initial impressions from each of you first. We're going to start off with the person that I just finished yelling at, Paul. Go ahead and tell me your thoughts on these 4 episodes today. Your initial thoughts.
I will say one of them I
all we have
enjoyed.
time
Yeah,
for,
like
folks.
one of them I enjoyed more than the others. But I did have to rewatch them multiple times to make sure I actually caught what happened. Because I remember looking down to grab my drink and then looking back up and there was like a whole new situation that was going on that I didn't even notice freaking happened in like less
Paul,
than
were you
3
drinking
seconds.
alone again?
No, I haven't actually been drinking for a very long time actually.
Sure. Okay. I'll believe you for now. Will, tell me why he's a bad, viewer and how he can make it up by explaining your initial thoughts.
So, first thing you didn't get the razor in the mirror. That's how you start every episode. Then you take your little baggie of Space Sheriff Gavan cereal.
Cocaine.
And you make sure you... No.
It needs coke. Yeah, you need.
Why does it always relate to Coke every single episode so far?
Because this is from 1982, and that's clearly how they made the show. Have you seen the editing?
I think that's how they made the first 4 episodes. I think the second batch, they were like, oh, maybe let's wean off of it just a little bit.
I will say they were
the
more.
First dude had a heart attack, and they were like, "Whoa, maybe we should hire a different editor."
I will say,
or maybe they did all the other episodes first, and then they did the first ones like last, and it's just like, yeah, we lost the plot literally, so this is what we're going with.
It's just whatever's left, guys. Just whatever's left.
Yeah, but continue. What were your initial thoughts for this batch?
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, these 4 are. I mean, they're good. They fit into the formula. I can almost see them trying to like break out from their own little mold they made and like approach. So there were moments where in a different show, like the whole episode would have been that plot line. It was just one of like 5 in these episodes because that's just how this show rolls. And if they had just like slowed down a little, given a little more time, and then just like given some breathing room, they could have like had what would look more like a normal show, which is again not how this show works, which is fine. I really like how this show works.
Not at all.
One second. You mentioned how the show rolls. I swear to God, our main character rolls more times than John Wick did in John Wick 4.
Oh yeah, that staircase?
Yeah.
There is a staircase in these episodes too. He does hug an octopus, and they roll down the hill together.
Jump sequences where he's constantly rolling.
Oh, and speaking of rolling,
mainly the first episode of this batch.
How often did you hear the words was it Siberian?
Yeah.
Siberian, for his
Siberian. How often did we hear that, speaking of rolling, in these episodes? Boy, he rolled on that thing a lot. I was thinking,
there was
like,
one episode where he almost crashes
it to be
on
a
it.
motorcycle, but nah. Oh yeah, he does.
Like,
and
it
I know we're not
flips
there yet,
over
but
on
that
him.
kid ETing on the bike, where he just pops a fucking
God.
wheelie and hops over a
That
truck.
made me fucking drop my remote at that time. I'm like, what the fuck?
I know. It's so good. Or when the guy in the glasses is trying to like zigzag
Avoid
away
getting
from a
isekai'd.
truck and the truck just keeps following him and I'm like, okay, what the fuck did you do to
Oh,
that
and then
guy?
he ends up on the fence?
Yeah, he almost dies and he winds up on a fence. I was like, jeez, the universe just hates this dude and it wants him dead.
That was... Oh, God, that was fucking hilarious.
Truck-kun
God.
tried
So
very
good.
hard
So
to isekai
also-
that guy.
Truck-kun was
That
very
is
It
true.
really did. Truck-kun on its way.
It's like,
Also,
oh, you dart
Will,
left?
I just
I'll
wanna-
go left. I'm going right.
So, Will, I do want to say I'm glad that you've recovered from your snake bites to your eyes. It sounds like that you were able to watch the TV show much better than Paul ever could. So, Paul, I think you need a little bit of snake bites in order to make sure that you can watch the show a little better. But glad to hear you recovered, Will.
Snake bites?
Snake bites, yeah. That's what I said for your excuse for not being on the other episode this week.
Oh, no. It was snake bites in my ass, not in my eyes. No.
He had a knife.
I'd be blind if they bit my eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm back
Okay.
to I'm back to two cheeks. One cheek was just hanging on by a thread, but we're good now. Double cheeked up.
So, just to clarify then, you won't have any more shitty behavior.
Shitty behavior? That's a subjective question, sir.
Can
Yeah,
we
'cause-
just, like,
Whatever.
exile him? Can we
Anyways.
just send him to the Maku space? Yeah, you need a timeout in the Maku space after that one.
Sure.
Moving on from my terrible joke. So I think we should get into the episodes here because we've got a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah.
the first one that we've got is called Mimi Cries. The deadly poison cobra bullet hits Retsu. I mean, that's
Oh.
essentially what happens.
Is that-
There was a bullet,
is that the
it hits
entire
Retsu,
title?
he gets poisoned.
That's literally a
Yeah.
full description of the episode.
That's the entire title.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
The-
exactly how they do it in Japan. I mean, just look at all the shit that we normally would see, like with a
Isekai.
anime. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like the
So-
title of the show. It at least tells you what you're in for. This literally, each title tells you what is going to happen in the episode. At least that title was...
I mean, Kojima also did that with Metal Gear Solid 5. So.
Kojima does that with all of his
No.
characters. They get a name of what they are. Revolver Ocelot is a man who uses revolvers and is a member of a team called the Ocelots. So his name is Revolver Ocelot.
Well, I mean 5 specifically, because from what I was told, I haven't played it yet, but from what I was told, each mission plays out like an episode of TV, and they do like giant
yeah.
titles like
I'll play
that.
5. He could tell
Yeah,
you.
they kind
And
of
then
do.
also, it's the same thing like with Dragon Ball Z
I started
with
playing.
the anime
Well,
titles.
the titles were
so,
different from
I started
Japan to
playing
America,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I
in
think they
for
were all
DBZ,
obscenely long, no matter which side.
for DBZ, yeah,
Yeah, for
they
Z.
were different from the U.S. titles were different from the Japanese ones.
Yeah. Well,
Because
regardless, they were
Japanese
all
ones actually had
ridiculously long on
story.
each side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Will, I know that you and I really love this episode. How about we go tag team on this
For 4?
one? You start first. Yeah.
Oh wait,
Well,
wait,
number-
hold on, hold
number
on.
5.
We need his opinion on the new Gavan Infinity episode.
Oh, you know what? For once, Paul was paying attention. You're absolutely right. Will,
Son of a
back to
bitch.
the snake bites in your ass. What did you think of the most recent Gavan Infinity?
I'm really excited for the gold one.
I don't like where this is going.
I mean,
The-
Robot Gavan seems okay.
like-
He, not a whole lot going on there, but they're putting a lot of mystery into him. So Red Gavan
Putting
is
a lot of
basically
mystery
just a
into
shonen
him?
protag. That's what he is. Blue Gavan is a emotionless robot who will probably learn to love by the end of the show. But right now he does not know what that is. He does not know hug. So I'm sure he'll get there. Also, they dropped a bunch of weird hints about his backstory, like some sort of planet, and there was a lady saying, "Help me Blue Gavan, you're my only hope or something. Anywho.
My only
Yeah,
hope.
something like that. There were no robots and there was no butler, but, you get the idea. His backstory feels kind of generic. I'm a little disappointed that they're like, oh, he's an emotionless robot. And it's like, you could have just said he's really stoic and serious about his job. He didn't have to be a robot who lacks emotions and has no sense of identity. That feels like a lot for a kid's show that you're definitely not going to flesh out and he's going to gloss over at some point. Like, you're going really hard in the backstory to probably never pay off. But Red Coon is he is shown.
I think they had to add it in because
Blue Coon is cold and sad because his little Amor gear is the sad one that's crying, which I thought was pretty funny. It did make me chuckle a little.
Mm-hmm.
Would you call him Sad Boy Blue?
He is the sad boy, and it is kind of funny. It makes me laugh every time. Every time I saw the little thing. Yeah.
So, just to interject on this, Paul was a little bitch about this particular episode because of the fact that he was emotionless.
Yeah.
But not because he was emotionless. It was the fact that he was, quote-unquote, he's supposed to have some more emotion as a robot. I've seen other things where they're emotionless robots where they have emotion. Like, you son of a bitch, shut the fuck up.
He disagrees with their artistic
you
choices.
just don't like that I disagreed with
He
you.
never does that. He never likes that.
I'm just, my opinion.
You shut him up. That worked.
No, like, here it is. I could say the sky is blue. Sean will fight me and say it's fucking green. He even knows that the dude's acting was ass, and he just doesn't want to agree with me.
So now
I don't think his acting was ass, and I specifically fought you on that because his acting wasn't ass. He was playing it on point.
the entire show is acted like a TV show. It feels a lot like a Disney Channel original TV show type of thing, where the people are a bit over the top. Also, Gavan, the new one, leans into anime pretty heavily, both in tropes, but also in how they act. They act like anime characters. And unfortunately, anime in real life doesn't work because reality is too solid and grounded. You need the expressiveness of the acting combined with the expressiveness of animation to really get across how anime works. It's why anime always looks weird when people do it, unless you adapt it correctly, which almost never happens. But it's hard to. That's also why it's so hard. It's I can't really
Alita
fault.
Battle Angel.
Yeah, Alita made some changes still. One Piece made a shit ton of changes because you have to alter stuff to make it work. You have to understand that the words medium transfer are important. It's the reason people always bitch that the book is better than the movie, and not just because crushing an entire novel into 2 hours is really hard, but it's a medium transfer. Even if you give someone a full show, like multiple episodes, you have to understand the limits of each medium, the choices that were made, and then you purposely have to make different choices to get the same thing across. Sometimes that choice is editing. Sometimes it's taking things away or adding. There are plenty of things as a manga that are cool, but the biggest example of medium transfer done really well that everyone will know is Goku turning Super Saiyan for the first time. That moment is stunning in animation. It is literally 2 pages in the manga. You flip the page, he's Super Saiyan. That's it. The build-up is however long you decide to wait. Like, it's not the same. There is music, lighting, the fact that the original show was so long that it dragged on and actually really, really made you anticipate some sort of change. All of that leads into it being much better, but you have to do it differently. So you've got a bunch of camera angles and all this stuff going on, and you have music, and you have cinematography choices, and all of this leads into this is a different medium, you're going to make different choices, and you have to. I think that the Gavan, the new one, is leaning really heavily into anime, and it is one of the things that occasionally I feel shaky about, because it's a little too silly. And you can say, oh, it's for kids, so is the original, and this man goes hard. You could tell me that, oh, it's for kids, but some of the fight scenes in these 4 episodes were,
But we're also looking at
yes,
different
we are.
generations of kids.
1982,
where back then, they
a
had different
10-year-old
types of-
would be in their 60s at this point. The guy, for comparison, the guy who plays Gavan is like 70-something now. So, yeah, it's different times and stuff, and I get that. But also, back then, they were making a TV show and they understood that. They overdid certain things, they overacted, they over-emoted, but they were never trying to ape animation, essentially. But that's just what I'm getting. It's only 2 episodes.
Speaking of apes, that's on another episode.
Oh yeah, there is Fire Monkey. But that's also, it's a whole thing. There's only 2 episodes. I don't know what it's going to be like when we actually have a cast. We barely have like 4 characters at this point. Because like 40 minutes spread across 5 or 6 characters it ain't much. So, it's going to take some time. And I'm now 8 episodes into the 82 show, 2 into the new one. So if I'm going to truly 1-to-1 by episode 2, and that's not true at all. Yeah, by episode 2, I was totally on board. The show is awesome. But it's a different style of storytelling and a very, very different style of writing. For one thing, they don't...
Absolutely.
Well, you have the one thing of the new one has history to lean on, so they don't have to explain certain things because they're going to lean into tropes of their own series and then tropes of the genre, literal decades of like growth over time. So there's much more going into it. But it is also one hell of a shilling for toys compared to the original, which is just make this show cool so we can have more episodes so that at some point we can sell merch, but we don't even know what that's going to look like because it's 1982, and by the time the show's on like its 3rd or 4th month, they're probably lucky if they've got their prototypes done. Because if the show didn't have a big enough budget, you wouldn't be able to do that stuff ahead of time. So, yeah, it's just a totally different timelines. Like, just that's not how it worked. And I want to know where it goes, but I will say that the blue episode is just as it should be. Kind of more of a lower key one, despite the giant man in rubber suit pretending to be a robot, which is giving me heavy Armored Core 6 vibes. Man, was it giving me mech video game vibes.
Hey, that was actually probably the coolest scene in the... Oh, wait, no, you're talking about that guy. Yeah, I'm talking about, like, I'm thinking of the actual giant robot.
Oh, yeah,
that we
no,
got
and the
end.
giant robot that, like, he slams the throttle, and this thing's, like, pistons in its chest start going, and then it proceeds to bear hug and rip out the core of the fortress. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, we all agreed that was actually probably the coolest
Yeah, I will
moment
say I
from
was
that episode.
disappointed, although I think I know why. I'm disappointed at the bad guy being just a dude with a hat and some, just some makeup. It's kind of disappointing. But I don't think he's...
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like
Yeah.
he was just a common thug. I don't
Well,
think
they
like, he
make
was
him
the
out
real
to be
big
the
bad.
supplier, but I don't think he's the leader. He doesn't... None of his design screams that, and the fact that they caught him 2 episodes in without really trying, like, he's not the leader of the thing. He's a high-ranking member, maybe, but he's in no way a leader. You beat him way too easily, and yeah.
What I liked was that it was actually a direct continuation of the first episode, where it picks
Yeah.
up right where it left off. So they were still in the process of arresting that
Mm-hmm.
emo guy, and I can't remember. Did he actually get away by that point, or were they able to?
They arrested him.
Get other cops in to take him away.
Yeah, they got other cops in to take him away. Like, he didn't escape.
Okay.
At the end of the episode, you see that he's locked up in prison, and he's still refusing to talk to his sister because he thinks she's a part of the...
That's right. I remember now, because they do those like panning shots
Yeah.
where they all look up into the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I remember now. Anime. But cool. At least I know where you stand. We'll go over the rankings on the next Gavan Infinity episode, so I'm not gonna, bog it down for this one. But let's go ahead and talk about the Cobra episode.
Okay.
Yeah, so that one was a lot of fun and super goofy. I really liked the fact that freaking thing opens up. We start with it opens up and they're in the car, and then they stop it by a truck. They run over to the truck, open it, and it's like, surprise, Cobra Monster, and it just tackles this guy out of the thing. That part made me chuckle.
Yeah.
So there are moments in this show that just like sheer joy.
That reminded me of like the Mega Man cartoon
Yeah.
when it did that.
Yeah, it's so goofy because he opens the door, and who in their right mind expects I'm going to open this door and a 6-foot-tall snake is going to tackle me to the ground? Oh God! Oh, that's so good.
It's like, shit.
So there are moments in these episodes that are like that.
So
So
from-
good.
So the whole thing starts off with this bureaucrat who's on his way to Tokyo. He arrives at the Tokyo International
Yep.
Airport.
Yes.
And then he gets sniped by Hunter Killer.
Oh yeah,
And it's like, okay,
by a space gun.
we're off to
You could
some
tell
political savagery already.
from the
That's
aluminum
cool.
foil. You can tell that it's a space gun.
Yes, the aluminum foil case.
Well, what's funny about that? Yeah, exactly. Like, why did they need a briefcase if it's a space gun?
Well, better question: why
Who
did they wrap it
cares?
in aluminum foil? It would.
So
It was
stupid.
already like bright red. It already looks kind of weird. Like, why did it need extra tinfoil? What was the point of that?
I know. But you know what? It made for a good laugh. That's all I'll say. So he ends up getting sniped, and then as soon as he gets sniped, while he's in the hospital, another double man ends up taking over, his persona. Like he ends up, becoming him.
Yeah, I've noticed the word
Retsu
double man is
at the
kind of
riding
a
club,
basic
and he-
descriptor because they keep changing like the alien costume now.
It makes sense now. Yeah. So then you get to Retsu, who's like at the riding club. He's got all these little kids that are around, and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and buy you all this food." After like, I want Salisbury steak. I want Chinese food. I want this. I want that. He goes like, "I'll buy you all steaks." Retsu, here's your paycheck. Oh, this is only 3,000 yen. Oh, you haven't worked worth shit, have you? And then the kids proceeded to bully him.
They bullied him for not understanding capitalism because he's an alien.
And I love the fact
Oh,
that his
God.
boss. Yeah, I love the fact that his boss literally says, "You're barely here, and when you are here, you don't do any work. What do you expect you're gonna get paid?"
Yeah. Just he's
Like,
completely, truly
yeah.
an alien who does not understand how our economy works.
No, not at all. Oh, man. Paul, what do you remember from this point on?
After that, he gets offered from the glasses dude a job to be a bodyguard for the dude who's supposedly pushing for world peace, and the dude literally is like, he's like, "Yeah, for some reason you were the first person I thought of when it came to this." After he just gets chewed out from by his boss saying, "You don't do enough fucking work. Stop doing other
Nope.
shit."
He
Like,
gets
and then
chewed
his
out
boss
for
is
not
like,
working,
"No,
and
you're
immediately
trying to steal
proceeds
my."
to not work.
And he's
To
like,
be fair, though, he went off to go do hero things.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
they
just his
also
boss
he
doesn't
keeps
know
not
that.
telling his boss that, which I get, but at the same time, like, can't you just alien up some money or something? Yeah, like
That's
they
what I
have a
was
giant
thinking.
space
Like,
dragon,
why doesn't
but
his
they can't
boss,
make
like
money.
his actual commander, give him money?
So,
Yeah.
we'll keep repairing
that
your
makes
spaceship
sense.
that you travel between planets with, but we're not going to, like, essentially launder money so you can exist on this planet. Like, there isn't even a moral implication there. The stuff that he does is worth way more than whatever money you give him to pretend to be a normal person on our planet. Like, it's fine. You're not, like, installing him in a multinational corporation as he makes decisions that affect people. He's just a guy who, like, wants to buy people food. Like, it's fine. Just make him, like, independently wealthy. Hack our computer systems and give him a bank account and just put zeros.
yeah, just restart."
Just fucking make him rich or something.
But apparently they don't want to because it makes for a
Oh,
better
that was
plot
another
that
thing
way.
I noticed, actually. The original show treats him like a sheriff and he can kind of do whatever he wants. The new show, he's treated like a normal cop. and he has to like ask to do things. He has a team who work behind him. He has a bunch of people supporting him. He has to like ask to do stuff. The old one.
Red tape.
He's basically just sent here. They're like, this is all we can afford to give you, and then they're like, just do your best, and there you go. And he's kind of on his own. He doesn't have a team. He has one person.
He's basically
essentially.
Space Nathan Drake.
He's just on his own. He's truly an actual like sheriff with like one person working for him, and he has to do everything on his own and figure it all out by himself. The new one, he's part of a team. He's got people. He works for an organization. So like, there's a whole like structure behind it. The old one, they gave him a bunch of stuff that's strong, but he's still on his own.
Kind of on his own. He has, what's her name? Mimi always helping him, and apparently this new Marin chick who... Marine, yeah, sorry. I don't know
they
why
call her Marine.
Oh, because...
They pronounce it as Marine, so
Marine,
you could call her Marine or Marin. It's fine.
Yeah. And...
But you're absolutely right. He does have Mimi as his partner, because that's who ends up trying to help him in this particular episode. At first, she tries to get information for him by turning into a bird, and then as soon as she lands on a tree and finds out what's going on, she's attacked by a snake.
Mm-hmm.
They don't reference that.
Which I thought was really funny, because it was like, I was just like, alright, come on. Are they really playing with that? And then she shows back up on Gavan's ship, and she's like, I'm so tired, I almost got eaten.
I almost got eaten by a giant snake. Don't attack the base. And then what does he do? He sneaks into the base and almost gets killed.
Oh, my favorite thing about that sneaking in was when everything goes sideways, so she just smashes through the gate with the car, which they could have done the whole time.
Like, it was like, we can't drive into it because there's mines there. Oh, okay, well, you just had he got his ass handed to him and blew up every mine there, apparently, and still was alive, being poisoned, and then just like, I'm like, God, no.
My favorite thing about that entire thing is that he's basically hiding in the box.
What's in the box?
And then he's just looking through the peephole the entire time like, oh my god, he's a double man. Oh no, they're gonna try to sell arms throughout the entire world. What are we gonna do? I got an idea.
When he
punches out of the
when
box.
he left
hey, you're
I
doing
could
bad
see
things.
the button prompt, and my brain was like, I've played this in games before. This is great.
I played this exactly in the Punisher game.
You're waiting, you hit the button.
Oh god.
Hey, did you guys know that I'm here? No, we didn't. Too bad.
Yep. The action scene that happens next is pretty cool, but it's also really funny because there's really random cuts after he's already done something. Like, he will jump up into the air to hold onto the ceiling, and then it cuts right after he latches onto the ceiling. It's like, what was the point of that? But my favorite one was when he just leaps out of the box and they start attacking him. So he jumps backwards to sit on this pedestal, and he kicks them one after the other, and then it just does a random cut there, just like, why? It was a rolling kick. There was nothing else you needed to do there. And he gets up and smiles, like, all right, whatever. I'm still with it.
The choreography in this is so silly.
It was just
so silly.
Yeah. But he ends up getting shot as he's trying to get away, and he gets shot by a hunter killer who uses a poison venom bullet that is 200 times more than
it's
a cobra
200
venom.
times potency cobra venom, which tells you how strong he is, because one cobra will kill more than one human, but 200 cobras make him feel not good and take several hours for him to actually die.
Oh no, they explained that they gave him the super vaccine or whatever, like the secret serum or super serum, so that it would heal him normally, but that wasn't enough. So they had to have the other girls show up from Planet Bird.
They gave him a potion, and it wasn't enough. They needed a high potion. Got it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Or full-on remedy.
Oh,
yeah,
and of course, the subplot is
ridiculous.
both of the girls like him.
We'll get into that at the end.
Yeah.
So they take a little bit of time for him to fully recover, and then when he does, you find out that they were like washing his face to make sure that that he was actually
Healing.
being okay, that they could see the color come back to him. He finally gets back up, and he's like, "Hey, so what are we doing now?" And we'll take it from there.
He wakes up. The two girls are clearly trying to be the one who cared for him so that he will like them more, as they jockey for position, essentially, to be the most important one. Mm-hmm. He is grateful to both of them and does not favor one over the other. However, Marin did literally travel between planets to bring him his life-saving potion thing, so, he wants to say thank you. So the three of them are walking through the shopping district, and they find a dress that she likes, and he's like, "Oh, we can get that one. It's 83,000 yen. He only has 3,000 yen.
Well, that's at the end. That's at the
skip
end. But
the
what
entire
about
fight.
like after he recovers? Like, what's he do to go against a Cobra Man?
Oh, he
or
just
Cobra
goes and
Monster?
fights him. Because, as we all know, once you've been healed, can't be reinfected.
So the funny thing about that is when he goes to infiltrate their base again, they try to fire a bullet at him, and it's the funniest fucking thing. So he catches
100%.
the bullet, like he does his little Gavan, half a 50 milliseconds.
Puts his armor on, he grabs it out of midair like
transform
Goku.
henshin. Yes.
Yep.
And then they do the explanation. And this is the time when I actually really like them doing the explanation point, because you could see them trying to do, super fast shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends up with them, like, showing, oh, he's faster than what they're doing. And he ends up actually, like, catching the bullet because of it.
Yeah.
And I want more stuff like that. Because I think the more that we get into, like, him getting into his henshin as a way of a defensive tactic, I think that's pretty fucking cool. But
It was fucking
the bullet
funny. It was
catching
fucking funny
itself, it was so funny. It's just hanging there. You could see that it's on a thread.
Yeah.
It's just slowly going from left to right. Oh,
I remember
fuck.
looking at it and going, "Shit, that thing is like the size of a 50 BMG that he just caught." I'm like, okay, but at the same time, like, they show the entire transformation. Apparently, he can henshin and transform so fast that he can catch a bullet shot at him from across a room.
Yep.
I'm like, really? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? But hey.
Yeah, it was cool. And then after he ends up
This
catching
isn't-
the bullet, he ends up going across, getting warped into Maku space, ends up having to fight a double monster, which was the Cobra monster, and an actual double man. The Cobra fight was pretty fun. I'm seeing where little bit by bit you can actually see him using the same tactics over and over, which is fine. With the monsters, you see that he's going to end up finishing them off with the laser Z-beam. And then with the double man, he ends up...
Oh, I was just going to say, I noticed
what?
with all 4 of these episodes, they really leaned into their Monster of the Week formula. He beats the monster, cuts the double man in half. Beats the monster, cuts the double man in half. Like, every episode. Which is cool, but it gets a little repetitive.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little
It's
repetitive.
not as bad as last week's, where I think last week I was exhausted by the time we got to episode 3. But I think it's because we have a little bit more of a cohesive story that now that it's more formulaic, you can actually see everything happening, and you want it, even though it's repetitive. You still want it to be that way with maybe a little bit of a slight variation. Like in the next episode, we end up getting a monster that actually goes big. But just to start off with Cobra Monster, every monster this particular episode looks exactly like what they're supposed to be. I was so happy with that. I was absolutely enthralled that we got to see something that's a Cobra Monster and it looks like a giant snake man. I was happy. Just simple as that. Happy. So then we get to the point after he beats them both. We end up back on Earth where he's goes shopping, like Will was saying. You can tell that Mimi is upset or jealous of the fact that he wants to treat Marine to something. He goes like, "Oh, how about we get this?" And it's like 83,000 yen. He has no money. He turns to Mimi. Mimi's like, "I got no money for this bitch. What the fuck do you want?" And then Marine ends up turning around, goes to sell a diamond, probably from another world, and ends up making so much money that she gives the briefcase of money to Gavan, and it's like, "Yeah, give me that dress now." And then you can see her flying away at the end, and she's wearing the dress, and she's all smiles. It's like, Gavan, you lucky bastard.
Yeah.
So, looking at Marine real quick before we go on to the next episode. So, Marine hails from Bird Planet. She is the secretary to Commander Quam. She was played by actress Kyoko Nashiro. Her first appearance was obviously the very first episode of this show, and she actually does show up in another series in Space Sheriff Gavan, where apparently she comes up for the final battle of that episode. So that's pretty cool that that they do a little bit more continuity that way.
Yeah, the guy who plays Retsu played him pretty consistently for like the first 3 shows. He played him, so he was on TV as this character for a couple of years.
Oh, one other thing that I saw about this episode, looking at the wiki notes here, apparently this episode's script was recycled for the 28th episode of Space Sheriff Scheider. So, I guess they ran out of material, so they decided to do it again.
Interesting.
Well, sometimes it is a basic episode. It's nothing that stands out. It's just something that's simple. It is a simple add-in episode, which I have no problem with.
I mean, apparently you had a problem with all of them today because you just didn't really want to watch them at all.
No, I actually life got in the way, and I couldn't watch them until like 5 o'clock. And I was gonna.
When life gets in the way,
Become a neat.
You gonna continue, Sean? Being a little bitch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do that again.
I hate you. I hate you so much. I despise your essence.
Yeah, well, do you despise me enough to go and talk about the second episode of today?
Oh, I actually like this episode. Sorry,
All
literally took me a second to remember which one was the second episode we watched. I keep mixing it up with the Ant-Man episode, but
Yeah, that's the 4th one.
the Ant Monster episode.
That's the third one.
I thought that was the third.
That was the third one for me.
I don't know.
Will, don't tell me that you're not paying attention.
You know these roll together.
All I remember was like, yeah, they really do. They really, after you watch them, like, they all kind of go.
I will say
flow
that the
together.
Rose one did, like, it. That one kind of, like, threw me out until, like, the second half of the episode, so I get that. But yeah, tell me about the second one, Paul, the one with the little kids, turning into Cybermen.
Cybermen? Okay. Yeah. Alright, so the entire plot of this episode was that Don Horror wants new double men, and he chooses to get children and turn them into double men by making them smarter and physically stronger and giving them telekinesis and psychokinesis and by creating
Not
his
gonna lie,
own
that's a pretty good gig.
Genius Institute. Genius Institute, and it really, really seemed like someone in Japan heard about the MK Ultra project and was like, "Oh yeah, let's just make that into an episode."
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
That's pretty accurate. There's a lot of putting on headphones, brainwashing sounds, and then doping the kids up on chemicals. This is a pretty hefty one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
I enjoyed it.
It was,
like, I think
it was
towards
good.
the end of the first half, it kind of loses itself a little bit, but it has a strong comeback in the second half.
Yeah, like it kind of like this episode kind of feels like it should have been a two-parter because him breaking in and getting the children out the first time should have been like the end of the first episode, like the first half of the episode, and then it jumping to the kids are having like side effects and are still under control, and you need to actually beat it.
I mean, like I said, this is it's one of those things where if you slow the show down, you can see on other shows where like this would be a two-parter, there would be some moments of silence and like quiet, and this show doesn't do that.
No, it's still based on the idea that, you know, it can't really have too much silence at any point. It needs to just keep on going.
Yeah, it literally has this entire there is no moment that you're going to be paused at. This is just a constant run. Like if Retsu has to keep running through an episode, your brain has to keep running watching this show. Every episode it must be running. Yeah. And I will say this, they reused that snake tail so much in this episode.
What do you mean?
Yeah. The snake tail that they used in the last episode, whenever they needed Gavan to get closer to the monster that the snake monster kept throwing out, that's the same thing that they used for the tentacle in this one.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Honestly, I will say...
I was going to say, just to call back to the last episode real quick, so one thing I forgot to mention, my favorite thing during the fight, he's being surrounded by all these different snakes, and then at one point it cuts over in Maku's face to the Cobra Man just running, and it's just like, he just shows up out of nowhere, and he's running really, really far to get to Gavan. It's like, why weren't you there in the first place?
Yeah.
They used the fast forward. It's really fun.
But anyways, continue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Honestly, I will say there was an adult moment on this episode when the tentacle goes over Gavan's mouth where I was like, oh gosh, I've seen too many.
I thought the same thing. I
was like,
I'm like,
I've seen too many things.
Hentai?
Yeah, I was like, but it quickly gets off and it's more of, oh god, phrasing.
So after they do, wow. So after they do that, he ends up getting blasted in the face. So just a quick recap on that. So basically, these little kids, they're beating up this other kid because he isn't, maintaining his academics, and they're calling him not smart, and the fact that they have to keep on redoing the same thing over and over because this kid just isn't catching up to them. They try to beat him up, but instead the kid, retaliates and beats the living shit out of them by slapping them across the face, throwing them on the ground, keep on slapping. And then you've got
repeatedly
the Maku men. Yeah. And then you got the Maku men just looking from afar through like their little bifocals. And this was a really fucking weird part because at this point they already, called upon the octopus monster. But they're in the car and they're watching from afar. And the guy, he's just sitting there and he's like, oh yeah, he's the one. And this random tentacle just goes up to him and he's like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like,
what the fuck? Like, this episode had so many of those moments where no one should walk in on you watching this episode. Because there is like... it's like, oh... the children are eating octopus food as you see a dancing octopus with like a giant knife just jumping up and down in the background. I'm like,
it's okay. He's a robot.
This is yeah, like
such a great description.
That makes it okay?
And then...
I'm sorry.
So after the weirdos end up watching the kids, and I meant exactly how I said it. After they end up watching the kids, they end up cornering him. I'm like, hey, you want to get smarter? Come join us for 3 months. I'm like, what? You're just going to do that? What about your parents, kid? And he just joins up, ends up becoming a brainwashed servant. and that's where Gavan gets involved. So, Will, tell me about that.
Gavan hears about it because the kid who's really, really growing by leaps and bounds, the grandfather just casually mentions, yeah, he's been going to, like, tutoring, and he's getting smarter. I heard he's got psychokinesis now. He always said he wanted to be psychic. Just that delivery.
It just says it so casually, too.
Like, wait, so that's just normal on their version of Earth? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like.
So, anyways, he says that casually, and Gavan is like, well, that's fucking weird. so he winds up going to investigate.
Yeah.
And he gets into the school, sees that it's weird, and then in the trippiest moment in the entire episode, he forces his way through a door, and the entire place, like, teleports him to an abandoned something or other, and he falls 20 feet under the ground.
Yeah, that was
That
weird.
was very weird. It was my favorite part.
This entire show has so many This episode has so many of those moments where they do not know setting continuity. Like, after the first transformation, he's in a completely different place. Like, he mentions...
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, literally, it goes from him getting his ass kicked in a quarry to him standing on top of a random building to him then going to another place to fight. It was really freaking weird.
Yeah, I think that's them trying to let the Coke seep back in.
So part of that is this show
it
is
was...
not interested in any way in actually explaining what's happening. Stuff just happens. You are left to draw your own conclusions. That's up to you. If you don't want to, that's fine. They're not going to tell you. But it's up to you if you want to draw those conclusions.
But at least you're given basic plot points and plot lines now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay
like,
with it.
Like, stuff happens, but, like, there's a reason the stuff is happening. He's trying to save the children. They clearly lay out why they want the children, what they're doing, how it's working. They show it as a thing. And like Paul said, after they rescue the kids the first time, they go into, like, withdrawal, and they start freaking out. So he plays his flute and summons them like the Pied Piper of half-mutant children. And, fun fact, during the fight, that flute gets destroyed twice.
It blows up!
Twice.
Yeah.
Blows up twice. Explosion. I don't know why, because I feel like they forgot that they did it, and then forgot to edit out that it happens. Because it's a specific shot of the flute exploding, and they entered it twice, probably forgetting that they had done it the first time. Because it's weird that he would have two.
In this show, sorry, we're talking about the same show that literally he tackles the octopus monster. Him and the octopus monster roll up a mountain.
Yep, they do.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. So is it this one where they roll up the mountain and then immediately jump back down?
I think so.
Wow.
All I know is, like, I was like, wait a second, because they rolled down the mountain and then they rolled back up the mountain. I was like, wait a second, what the hell?
I mean, that is definitely the whole reason why this is called a rewind view, because it's strictly you're rewinding as you're viewing it.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, wait, what the hell was that?
Oh, the little kids at one point are being rewound up a slide to indicate that they're going up the slide. They very clearly slid down.
That was fucking weird.
Was it, though?
Oh my God.
It was just weird.
Oh,
and then he starts beating the
There's
hell
so
out of
much
one of the
trippy
kids
shit in
because
this.
he's just not good at it. So he just starts wailing on him.
that was actually a little hard
Yeah.
to watch because I'm like, oh man, I know what they're drawing on from this, and that kind of sucks.
They're essentially treating the children like soldiers. Like, that entire course was them treating the children like boot camp soldiers and, like, attacking them and hitting them and yelling at them to be better, be better, be better. And they were literally treating them like that because at that point the kids were brainwashed and would just do what they were told.
No, that was... This episode has very sad parts and a lot of craziness. A lot of craziness.
It's still enjoyable though. I really liked it. One last thing before we move on to the next episode. With the final fight between the octopus monster and the Double Man, after he ends up destroying the flute the second time.
Twice.
Stupid. After he ends up destroying the flute and he does his Gavan dynamic blade, he does the split. But did you notice? And I've started making sure to see if they actually like changed the setting or not. But it's the exact same like footage that they did from the very first episode, where you can see where they just cut it out, and like obviously reusing footage is fine, but you can tell like they didn't even make an attempt to even match the setting that they were fighting in. It's like, wow.
Yeah, it was shot very neutral.
Like you could see the building that was next to it in the first episode.
Yeah, they tried to shoot very neutral when it came to the destruction shot, so that they could reuse it as many times as they needed, because it's kind of a one and done. It was probably very expensive, and at the time. And it was one of those, we're going to do this once, we're going to reuse the footage, we need it to look good, we need the background to be fairly neutral so that we can paste this into, like, 20 episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have to mention this. Every time he transforms, I am taken out really hard from the show, because they use a cartoon spring sound effect to indicate that he's about to transform.
Yep, like
yeah,
boing,
the boing
boing,
sound.
boing,
Just
like,
it's a weird choice. It was the tail end of the 70s though, so it made more sense 40 years ago. But like, wow, that takes my brain out. It's really hard to look past it. It takes a couple seconds to get back in.
I know, every time. But that's all I wanted to talk about for that episode. Let's talk about the one that I didn't really jive with until like the second half.
Really?
Next one is called "The Petals Kissed by a Girl Hides a Monster." Will, I'm gonna rely on you for this episode. I couldn't be asked with like the first half.
So, I don't know what exactly it reminded me of, but it felt like an old anime episode of like something from the 70s or the 80s. It felt like almost a filler episode where, like, I don't know what they were experimenting with, but like somebody was trying something out and it just didn't quite work and it doesn't quite fit, but there's something happening there. So
I think that might be what got to me, is because it didn't feel like filler.
Because it truly is. Like, literally nothing of consequence happens. It's not like the episode where Marine comes down to the planet because the main character almost dies. It's like, arguably that's important because you're now establishing that the two of them have a shared event. Oh, both girls kind of have a thing for him. Sure, it's not deep, but you're giving something. This episode begins and ends status quo, just throw it wherever you want and then move on. This episode starts with Samurai Ant. Description and subtitles. I don't know if that's a good translation, but Samurai Ant shrinks itself down.
They call it the Samurai Ari monster in Japan.
Ari probably just means ant. So yeah, it's literally Samurai Ant. It shrinks itself down, and it jumps inside a flower, and then the girl kisses she essentially goes to sniff the flower, doesn't realize the ant is in there, and it doesn't do anything to her because it wants her to deliver it. It's a solid infiltration tactic for aliens that can do this. It jumps into flower, and it uses that to Horton Hears a Who its way into the, like, I think it was like a bank or something. Yeah, it was a bank. They were stealing.
We got a fucking
it was
Dr.
an armored
Seuss
truck.
reference in a
That's right.
Tokusatsu podcast.
That's right.
What the fuck?
And basically, the ant is in the flowers. She drops the flowers off because she's being nice to people. Because she works at like a garden, they're like a greenhouse. They sell the flowers that they grow and stuff. So she drops some off complimentary to like a nice old guy who's cleaning that she knows, and he brings them into the bank, and they set them up, and then one of those winds up on a security guard who's putting a bunch of money into like a transport vehicle to send somewhere, and the flower has the ant monster in it, and in the middle of driving somewhere when it's in like the middle of nowhere Japan, it fills the car with gas that is either poisonous and deadly or just sleepy, doesn't matter. They crash, and the two aliens who are waiting for this to happen pounce on the thing, drive over and start stealing all the money. While this is happening, literally just pure happenstance, the main character is... the hell was he doing? He's walking out of a building done with whatever he just did and just looks over as he goes to get in his vehicle and witnesses this robbery in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Just, they happened to be there. Like literally.
Random...
It just happened. Oh my god. This show.
I got nothing to add on to that. I was just like, I'm watching, yeah. I'm reading the wiki as you describe it, and I'm like, yeah, there's a reason I zoned out on this.
Yeah, so he happens to see it, he attacks them. I think he either thwarts it or he almost thwarts it, and then they, like, get away, and it's one of those curses foiled again moments, and we move on. And, he stole lunch meat to feed stray dogs that are puppies that he found. He gives one of the puppies to the girl who works at the, like, greenhouse, or lives at the greenhouse with her family. And so that's his tie to her, which is why after feeding the puppies and walking back to his car, he sees the robbery, he thwarts it, then we move on. He winds up, the flour's the only thing left because the bad guys blow up their car to get away. They detonate it. And the only thing left is the flour, so he runs around town trying to match this flour, which is not a terrible idea unless, the bad guys happen to buy a generic flour, but whatever. He matches it, finds the little girl, she walks out with her parents, and he's like, oh, hey, we know each other, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that, that's came from their greenhouse, and he's like, oh, and then we move on. It was, I think, just to establish that they kind of knew each other, and I don't remember if he gets attacked by the ant right away. No, he doesn't, not yet. The ant jumps out after he leaves because the bad guys, command him to essentially kidnap the family. They show up later and they take the family hostage and they try to lure him in and take him out using the ant. And I think I'm missing an entire fight in here, but this episode was one of the lighter ones.
Nope, you're actually right on point, because this is actually the part that I remember now. Retsu ends up going back to his ship. Mimi's there, and she's like, hey, I want to go to a disco. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah. Oh, wait, bad guys are doing bad guy things. I must leave.
Yep. She getting blocked
and so
real hard.
He ends up leaving. Oh, yeah. And he ends up leaving. He ends up trying to go after the people that kidnapped the little girl and her parents. And he ends up trying to save her, but, there's this long drawn out moment where she's looking at the rose and she goes, go away, and then I think she blows into it or something, but that's when the ant attacks him.
Yep.
And that's where it sprays his face and he ends up becoming blind.
Yep.
And so I thought this was actually kind of cool because he's still kicking ass while being
blind.
No,
he's still wrecking.
And just to make sure that you're aware that he's blind, every time he does an action, he looks directly at the camera and covers his eyes, or just, really squints really hard to show that he can't see.
I do like that just because he can't see doesn't mean he can't hurt you. I don't need my eyes.
I mean, he
bring
jumped
them
up
to
and
me.
Kicked somebody in the balls, from what I remember.
He just continues to fight and wreck stuff. He looks more frantic because he can't see, which is probably not good, but he's still winning.
And then he henshins, and all of a sudden he's not blind anymore.
Yep, the machine takes over where his eyes cannot, and he's able to see. Either his suit healed him a little, or the suit essentially, is doing so much work that it doesn't matter that his eyes don't work well.
Yep.
So, he winds up fighting.
They end up getting dragged into Maku space, and they go to Maku space, and this made me laugh. So the ant, nowhere to be found at first, and then all of a sudden it gets really big.
Yep.
Now, a couple things about this. The backdrop to it is you see the Earth, you see the moon, and you can see that they're just hanging there. Those are literally just little placards that they put there to hang up to, show, hey, this is happening elsewhere. but it's clearly that it's just something hanging on a string. And the ant decides to turn around and uses its butt laser to try to take it down.
Yeah, I like the butt laser part. It was really funny.
That's where I'm like, you know what, that boosts it up from, whatever ranking I had it at first. I'm like, okay, you got me
when
back.
People are like, what's wrong with modern
Is this
television?
the episode where
not enough of this. That's what's wrong. Not enough butt lasers.
Like, oh yeah, that was funny as hell.
And I'm aware that it's probably
is this
the
the one where the
news or
doubleman rides
something.
in on a horse?
Oh yeah, that does happen.
Is this the episode where the doubleman rides in on a horse to attack him right at, like, while he's in that, like, freaking weird world? Like, I remember seeing it riding in on a horse and then jumping off to attack him. I'm like,
yeah, he ends up attacking him while he's on the horse, and then he ends up landing on a rock and then gets back up.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Like,
that was
what's
weird
going
as
on
hell.
here?
It's like, okay, I see you're trying to do something a little different here, but that was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it's this one or if it's the next one, but he ends up fighting a guy with almost kind of like a fish head that reminds me of the fish guys from Power Rangers Turbo. It kind of reminds me of
It's the next episode.
That's
the next
one?
episode.
Okay.
It's the bat. I think it looked like a bat. I thought it looked like a bat thing.
It might have been a bat. It just, to me, it looked like the henchman that you would normally see in Turbo. So obviously they fight. He ends up rescuing the parents. He ends up getting some roses from them, and says goodbye. And that's the end of the episode. It's really a nothing burger type episode, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Just more fun stuff that you're used to. Status quo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But then we actually get a lot of fun with the next episode. I really, really enjoyed it.
A lot happens in this one as far as like...
Well, how about this? If you enjoyed it so much, Sean, you tell us about it.
I will. I shall. Don't ever tell me what to get, motherfucker, or I will boot you. Okay.
Go ahead and boot me. I will take my subscribers with me.
Do I need to bully him, Will, for that?
No, I think the truth will do enough of that.
All right,
yeah, the truth is that was the dumbest thing I've done in, like, the last few days.
That was pretty bad. You should feel a little ashamed of that. So, this episode is called Justice or Demon, the Silver Masked Great Hero. This one was a trip. The whole thing is about these little kid nerds who are reading this space magazine. They're like, yeah, these are some really cool things. Can you believe it? We're actually getting UFO sightings in this world. And it's all because Don Horde assigned a bunch of different doublemen to pose as this magazine, editor-in-chief and a secretary to make up these different UFO sightings, which are just their own UFOs. It's like, okay.
Yep.
Whatever you want to do. I don't understand why you want to do this, but cool.
They Peter Parker it very, very hard. They Peter Parker an entire magazine.
They do.
And then they legitimately run a disinformation campaign against Gavan. And it works.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's like, okay, that's cool. So, like, at first, it's like, okay, they just want to show this, and then they start doing the misinformation stuff afterwards. But, all the kids, they end up looking at the magazine. They're like, oh, this is really unique stuff. Retsu comes in, takes a look, and he's like, oh, that's Maku! I must go. Funny as shit. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, go ahead and do this job for me, Retsu. Okay, sure. The nerdy guy, Kojiro, shows up. I was like, hey, I gotta do this. Go ahead and do it for me. I'm gonna leave. As always. He always passes it off to the other dude, where I swear to God, I thought at the end of the other episode when he did the same thing, that all his money was just gonna be like, hey, give me back your pay, I'm gonna give it to this guy. I honestly thought that's what was gonna happen.
No, it was so low, he knew it stung already.
I will say this, I did like that. I know we passed this episode already. In the beginning of the Ant episode, that they do a throwback to that from the previous episode, when the boss comes out and is yelling at the dude because he's like, why are you just sitting here? You should be doing work. And do you want me to pay you 3,000 yen just like Retsu? I'm like, oh, shit. They actually kept that from the previous episode.
Look at them trying to maintain continuity, and we still haven't heard anything about Retsu's dad.
Who?
Yeah.
Retsu's dad. Remember how at the very beginning of the first episode, oh yeah, your dad died bravely. Next episode, oh, he might not be dead. And then we haven't heard anything about that since.
Yeah, no, that slipped my mind. It'll be a surprise when we get there.
No, it wasn't that his dad died. It was that his dad was an agent for whatever system that Gavan works for, but he's like a super secret agent for them. And it was
that he died,
Hunter Killer said that no, Hunter Killer said he died. He died. He thought his dad was still alive.
Maybe
he originally thinks his dad was. Yeah, he originally thought his dad was alive, and then the dude says, "Yeah, you're gonna die like your father died," to Maku, like, and he's like, "What the fuck? Like, my dad's still alive. He's just like on a super secret mission and hasn't spoken to me in years, but he's still alive."
He just went out for cigarettes and milk. And I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
Yeah, and then...
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
it's Bird
I did
Planet.
not realize that dude is Mimi's dad. I didn't realize that was Mimi's dad.
Who is?
Commander Quam?
The chief.
Yeah, they established
Commander
that,
Quam
like,
is Mimi's dad. I forgot that was her...
They dropped that.
Yeah.
I honestly thought she was being disrespectful and just saying... okay, pops.
Oh no!
Like
she was being literal.
As like he's older.
Yeah, no, she was being literal.
Like
that's her dad. It's very clear that Gavan is really strong, so they paired his daughter with Gavan, mostly so that she won't get hurt, and because she is about as nepo baby as you get.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean like I wasn't paying attention. I didn't think she was like being literally that's her dad. Like until like the poisoning episode, that's when I realized, oh shit, that is her dad. I thought she was just like doing like a nickname because she was so casual with them. Sorry. Sorry too.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean that's also a reasonable.
I hope you shut up next time, but it's okay.
Damn bitch. That feels like a reasonable thing to think. It's just that was a trope that I thought that they would do, because it does feel weird that Mimi is around Gavan at all. Like, Gavan is capable, he does stuff, but like, why is Mimi there except to potentially get herself hurt? Like, she helps, yeah, but she seems like really, really underskilled to be around the stuff they keep throwing Gavan at. This is like, she's the level 10 character, Gavan's like 85, and they keep throwing him against stuff that's equal to him or a little lower, and she is just way, way below all of it. And it's like, she's going to get dinged in an episode, and she's going to die.
That's why she's support.
It's going to be hard to support from the grave.
Damn. All right. Just to make sure that we can speed up on this. So Retsu goes to meet the magazine people. And as he gets there, it's just them going, yeah, these are real, and I think that there's actually a UFO base hiding at the dam. You should go there. Like, I think I will. You should. All right then, I will. And he goes, and then they all laugh, and they're like, yeah, Gavan was just here. Everybody, let's actually show that we're double men now. And then it cuts to the kids along with Kojiro. They're like going searching in the woods.
They're doing what everyone else.
Find any UFOs.
Yeah, they're doing what everyone else does. So this mountain, Mount Tsubaki, apparently is where all the pictures are taken. So they think there's UFOs around there, and there's also a dam.
Mount Tsurugi.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Mount Tsurugi. There's a dam, like a hydroelectric dam, and that's where Gavan was told to go to Mount Tsurugi. So he's wandering the mountain. And the kids, along with the guy and a bunch of other random people, are all looking for the UFOs because it got super popular. So they're all just like flooding the area looking for UFOs. Nobody's found anything, but you know. And then out of nowhere,
And then the fire monkey shows up.
fire monkey shows up to start messing with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not gonna lie, the fire monkey was actually kind of cool. I like the fact that it teleported everywhere, and you didn't like at first. It seems like it's jump cuts, but no, it's actually legit.
It's teleporting.
It's teleporting.
Like it's messing with other characters while it does it. Like I think it does it while fighting Gavan at one point, and you can see a look of like confusion on his face as it teleports around and like hits him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
So then, Paul, what happens from here? Like after the fire monkey shows up.
After the fire monkey, Gavan transforms and he goes to save the kids and people who are getting attacked by the fire monkey.
Yep, as you do.
And basically, the reporters, J. Jonah Jameson, his ass, taking pictures of him and then claiming he is the villain. He was putting children in harm's way so that, they just fully fill it up with bullshit, and he goes to he tries to clear his what was it? Oh my gosh. He tries to clear his name, but it doesn't work.
Yeah. Now,
I don't understand this episode.
The way that they
it was basically like someone watched...
I think that's how they make it work.
Explain.
Well, so they sell it by saying he's the bad guy and kidnapping the kids so that the kids can't actually, like, say anything against it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that works. If I take pictures, tell you what happened, and the only people in the pictures are an alien that no one's ever spoken to and children who are now missing, I get to tell the story. Nobody can counter me. So they do that, and then
it makes sense.
They legitimately win that argument. If this was a much darker show, they would have just killed the kids. But it's not.
But Will, how does Gavan or Retsu find out where the kids are being held?
Paul, do you remember how he figured it out?
I do. It was funny.
I don't. I was gonna say I thought it was
so he
Mimi
ends up
who
going
told
back
him.
to the magazine office.
Yeah,
and he's looking around. Everybody's gone. All that's left is just a banner that says Space Magazine. Yep. And he turns around and he sees this wall that is just a wall at first, but then he sees a vision of the kids, but surrounded by concrete. He's like, "Oh, the kids are surrounded by concrete." And then as he goes up closer to it, because he's trying to take a closer look, all of a sudden a gun comes through.
Yeah,
it tries to shoot at him. He jumps out the window.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. It was such a bizarre visual too, because it almost looked like it was like a gun trying to come through glass.
Yep.
Like a fucking like a mirror. And it was just so bizarre. But he ends up finding out where the kids are. He ends up determining that the kids are actually being held at the nearby dam. And so he ends up trying to find a way to fake out the Doubleman and Hunter Killer. He ends up taking his car to just drive along empty, but as like on autopilot. And he ends up scaling up one of the sides of the dam. My God, I don't care how they did it. That is insane.
Oh yeah,
because this looked like a real dam that they were actually filming.
Oh, they
on.
were.
Like, it looked like it was filmed on location.
Yeah, there's another episode that was filmed on location.
They were able to do all of that
at like an abandoned amusement park that was creepy as shit. They fight on what is like essentially a boat that looks like a giant peacock, but it's completely like been abandoned, so it's rusting and the paint's falling off. It looked so fucking creepy. No,
but the fact that they were able to do all these different stunts while on the dam was just impressive.
It's not so much the scaling, which is an impressive physical feat for me. It was we're still going to have all of our stuntmen do like front flips, back flips, and like throw each other and stuff, and the only thing keeping them from falling to their death will be this one metal railing.
The edges. Yeah.
And then at one point they're jumping up and down off of one of the like corner wall things, and I'm like, dude, no. This is why I'm not a stuntman. I would not be doing that. There's no safety fucking anything. It's a dam. It's what, like 50 feet down? You think there was a pad down there for them? On a
God, no.
fucking TV show from 1982, you think they had that?
Mm-mm.
I don't know what they got paid, but it wasn't enough.
So-
that shit.
So Gavan ends up looking to save the children that are being held captive up by the railing. He ends up getting spotted after they end up stopping his car. Then Kojiro shows up, and he ends up, telling Kojiro, "Hey, Kojiro," like says his name as Gavan, and go save the kids. And he just keeps on blocking him from getting attacked, which I thought was a pretty cool thing that they were showing.
It was.
Like, go, get out of here.
Yeah.
And, so he ends up taking on the fire monkey. He ends up taking on the devil man, the guy with the helmet that I was talking about earlier. Just teleporting all over. It was really fucking cool. Was it this episode, or was it one of the previous ones where we actually see him go really, really fast? Where he's like
It was this one.
going between all the different devil men. It was this one? Okay. So
It was
yeah,
either this one or
this
that
one.
slow motion thing, I'm like, oh,
It was this
I
one.
don't remember. Okay,
'Cause-
I'm gonna say that it was this one. They do a
was
slow
cheesy.
motion effect to make it look like he's going really fast, and he was just basically like hitting them all, but also weaving and bobbing, just going back and forth between them. I thought that was a pretty nifty technique, especially for something back in 1982.
Yeah, instead of counting on
ends
actual
up taking
machinery,
everybody out.
they just did it by having all of them choreo in slowly. They had them all move slow, and then they had him move slightly faster. It was all just practical.
Yep. So he ends
That's
up
something
beating
that's
all
lost
of them.
nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, you what we get now is the fucking Flash movie, but we're not going to get into that. So he ends up beating everybody. He ends up driving away. All the kids are like, "Bye, Gavan. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye." And then Kojiro's standing there like, it's kind of weird that I was brought here because of Retsu. Gavan's just now leaving, and Retsu's nowhere to be found. I got it. Gavan's Retsu. And then Retsu shows up in his Jeep. He's like, "Hey, everybody, how you doing? What, you're not going to say hi to me? Get the fuck in the car. Let's go." And then it ends.
Yep.
Yeah. With the dude literally being gaslighted, he's like,
He
"Oh,
gaslights
shit.
the hell out of him.
Wait, you're
He's like, "Oh,
leaving me."
I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
You're not Gavan." And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, but you should get in the car so we can leave."
Yeah. So, now that we're done with the synopses for these episodes, let's go ahead and rank them. So we've got episodes 5 through 8. In order to make this quick, I'm going to go ahead and start with my thoughts on them. Then we'll go to Will, and then we'll go to Paul. For me, episode 5, Mimi cries, the deadly poison cobra bullet hits Retsu. That one was honestly my favorite of this entire bunch. We've got nothing but great action. We had good plot. We had some decent comedy with the jealousy between the two girls.
Yeah, honestly.
And just the fact that we also had some really cool action moments. It was just an all-around really, really good episode. And personally for me, this goes in our S rank.
Really?
Will? Oh yeah, this is definitely an S rank for me.
Honestly, I would agree.
about you,
There's
Will?
another episode I would put just slightly below it, but I could see them being separate letters. This one this is a very enjoyable episode. It does everything the show does well. It does everything that you like, and it's held together really well. Like this is just a fun episode.
Oh yeah, not to mention this is like the first one where you actually have like a coherent plot, and it manages to stay that way all the way to the end of the last one of
No,
this bunch.
it genuinely,
So,
like, they're like, here's
yeah.
a thing, here's what's happening, we're gonna, like, sprinkle in a little political intrigue. Oh, hey, remember how the aliens can mimic people? Yeah, what do you think they're doing? And then it's just, it's actually put together pretty well. Like, it uses all the tricks that they've identified so far, and it does it in a really good way. So I would definitely agree with that. I liked this episode a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Alright. And then Paul.
I'll agree with an S with this one. I did enjoy it. It did do a lot of things fun for it, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I really wouldn't mind seeing it again. So yeah, I'll go with an S for this one. But it's, I will say, 2 out of 3 of these episodes are S to me that we've watched today. That we've watched.
That's,
2 out of 3 of them
You mean
are
2 out of
S
4?
rank. Sorry, 2 out of 4.
I don't know, 2
Yeah,
out of 3
sorry,
sounds
2.
like a pretty damning
2 out of 4.
observation to me. I only watched 3
No,
episodes. I don't know
I'll
about
say
you
2
guys.
out of 4. I'll
We're
say
sitting
2 out
there
of
for
4,
half an hour. I'm
and
just
one
finishing
of them.
up on this episode. Where the fuck
No,
are you?
Sorry, no. Actually, no. I'll go 3 out of 4 of these episodes are actually S to me.
But
I'm pretty sure you guys
because
won't
I think
agree.
this is the only S one for me, but we'll talk about that in a second. So now the question remains: is this one better or slightly less wonderful than the Majin helmet that calls big time?
Majin Helmet's better. Majin
I
Helmet's
think it
better.
still beats it out.
Ooh, I think it beats out. Wait, which one?
I'm gonna be the decider, aren't I? Okay. Majin Helmet still holds together as like the clearest beginning, middle, end. Like it flows. It's a really good episode. It's got the cool scorpion guy. So I would say as an episode, Majin Helmet by just the smallest amount. But if you wanted to have like a goofy, silly episode, this one is sillier and goofier. So yeah, there's a lot more moments in this one that are just absolutely silly. Like, surprise, it's a snake man.
Which is why it's S rank to begin with. So.
Yeah, I would say the Majin still beats it out, but they are really close. Like, they're both really good.
Damn. Because I was going to put it above Majin, but if I don't win this one, that's completely fine. So we'll go ahead and put that as right below Majin. Alright. Now, the next episode, Geniuses of Maku School. Personally, for me, this is an A rank. It's not the best, because at some point during the episode, I was like, okay. Like talking with you guys about it really brought me back up to where, like, this could be S, but it's not just yet. Like, there's something holding it back. And I think it was just the way that it handled itself, like, right at the middle portion, and then it finally brought it back. It's brought itself back to me. I was originally going to make it a B, but I wanted to make it an A. So this is definitely an A rank for me. What about you, Will?
That feels like a fair assessment. As much as I like this episode... Excuse me. As much as I like this episode, and as much as I like the weird, surrealist moments that are inside it, it does feel like a solid A. I don't know that I would want to put it in the same category as our other S ranks. Like, it's good, it's really well put together, but I think that, as sometimes happens, the pacing of the show actually works against it. Like how Paul said, this could be a two-parter. In a modern show, this would be potentially like, just longer in how it puts itself. I think it would actually benefit from that space, and I don't think that they know how to do that yet. Or at least they don't trust the show enough yet.
No, definitely not yet. Yeah. What about you, Paul?
See, this is one of my favorite episodes. This is the one that I really wanted to say is an S. My problem with it is that we don't have enough time. The episode is just a one episode. If they would have stretched it into a two-parter, it would be a lot better and would be an S. But that's my view. So I'm okay saying that this is an A episode, an A ranked episode, because it didn't take its time to flesh out the story more. So I'm okay with saying it's an A. But this is one of the episodes that I was like, this is an S rank episode for me. But I'm okay with putting in an A.
The other episode that's in the A rank is It's Major, Dr. Kuroboshi's BEM project, which was episode 4, which is the one where he was kidnapping the kids using the goat man and making them small and, then checking to see if he could, like, experiment on them further. Is this one better than that, or slightly not as good?
It's better than that one.
I'd say better.
I agree. So this one's going to go above that one. All right.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is the petals kissed by a girl hides a monster. So, this one for me, I really didn't like the first half. And the fact that, as we were talking about it, I originally had this as a C because the second half kind of won me over. But thinking on it, I still don't remember it very well because it just, like we mentioned, it feels like filler. So for me, it's not awful, it's not good, it just kind of exists. And originally I wanted at C, but after talking about it, I think it goes into D.
Wow.
Oh, ow. Because this was actually one of my favorites.
Well, we'll get to you
and I'll
after
explain.
Will.
Yeah, I'll explain my point of view.
Our true middle of the road, where the episode is fine, it's serviceable, and all that, is considered C, right?
Right. Yeah.
I would consider this to be high C, low B. Like it's not there's enough there, but I sitting on it longer, it will probably settle itself more into a C. Where it's fine, it's totally fine, totally serviceable.
Okay. I mean, I can bring it up to a C if I can. But what about Paul? You were mentioning that this is one of your favorite episodes.
Yes. And once I say why, will get it. This episode feels very much like a Guy Ritchie movie. It reminds me of Snatched, how there is just one plot point that brings everything together, while the world is revolving around just like this one situation. And that's the vibe I got watching this episode. Like, it was like watching Snatched, where everyone is doing their own thing, but it all winds up ending up being a part of this. Like the girl picking up the rose leading to the armored truck being gotten, and it leading back to the rose leading back to her family for Gavan to find out everything. It felt like a Guy Ritchie movie where they just took how he likes to put separate threads, have them all go into a single thing. It's why, like,
I didn't get that at all.
No, I get that, but the reason why I get that is because I've watched a lot of Guy Ritchie's movies and his shows and stuff that he's directed, and that's how he directs. That's how he does things. So either his stuff is very linear, where you can see where it's going, there's no twists or turns, or he puts so many threads that go into one knot in the center, and that's how the movie is made. This is something that is like that, where it gave, since I like those type of movies that he does, it made me feel like that, but this was a very weak interpretation of it. And the episode itself, because of nostalgia, I was going to give it an S. But honestly, after hearing you guys talk about it, to me it's a C episode. It is a C episode. It dropped 2 letter grades to me, because if the standard audience can't get that, where it feels that detached, everything feels that detached from it, it's not a great episode. Just because I enjoy it doesn't mean that it's for everybody.
I understand that completely. So now to the last one, and we'll be able to wrap this up. So Justice or Demon, the Silver Masked Great Hero. This is the one we just talked about with the Space magazine. I'm on the fence on this one. I don't know if I want to make this either an A or an S. And like, it has the bones to be a really good S, but like, it's just right on the cusp of that. It's a really good A, absolutely, but I don't know. I want you guys to help me figure out what I should do on this one. So Will, go ahead.
I could see this as a solid A. There's a whole bunch of Gavan attacks that he shows in this, which are just him naming things. They're really trying to like spice it up, add things. They're several episodes in, so they're trying out some new stuff. There's 2 monsters, essentially. The Double Man is a brand new design. It has a unique weapon, and it looks cool, but it is, at the end, just a Double Man, so it explodes. I like what they're doing in this. I would put this as a very strong A. I think it's just too much on the experiment and not on the refined side. So, like, this episode with refinement becomes an S, but I could see it as a very strong A.
Okay. I think I agree with that. Paul?
I think it's an A episode. Like, it felt too much like Spider-Man to me. Like, they were trying to rip off a Spider-Man comic. And I was just very much... I was kind of meh about it. But it wasn't a bad episode. It was a good episode. The ape breathing fire kind of made me think about the Japanese, I think it's Japanese, the Japanese folklore about apes drinking wine, drinking sake, and that being fire water. But that's my line of thought on that. But it was an A episode. I'm not very opinionated on it, really.
That's the one where he stopped paying attention and where we had to yell at him. All right.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna have to start watching them in 2 episode breaks so I can actually care.
Shameful.
Going in, because usually by the 4th episode I'm done.
Since we know that this is an A episode, where does it rank in the A's? We've got the Geniuses of Maku School, and we've got the BEM project. Do you think it goes above any of them? Do you think it goes in between? Do you think it goes to the bottom? Personally, I think this one might be, at least for me, right below the Maku School.
Yeah, I would say that.
I like the Maku School more.
All right,
so I'm good. I'm good with that.
So we're all in agreement there. Let me go ahead and update my ranking, and then we are done for the night. So, there we go. All right. So, current updates for what we've got. We've got, for the episodes ranked in S, we have Majin Helmet that calls big time. I'm just going to say episode 1 and 2. For number 1, we have episode 3. For number 2, we have episode 5. In A rank, at number 3, we have episode 6. Number 4, we have episode 8. And number 5, we have episode 4. So, pretty good so far. For B rank, we have, at number 6, episode 1. Number 7, we have episode 2. And then on to C rank, we have number 8 as episode 7. So, yeah, pretty good ranking so far. And then my last thing before we end up for the night, the monsters ranked. So, each one we had a different monster, obviously, to make sure that it's all different themed. We had the Cobra monster, we had the Octopus monster, we had the Samurai Ant, and we also had the Fire Monkey. Let's start with Cobra. Cobra, for me, I really, really liked it. However, I think it was a little more goofy than it was menacing as a monster. Personally, because of that, I think I would put it as an A rank monster.
Oh, I was gonna go B.
Oh wow, okay.
Like, it's cool, but honestly, it kind of looked like they repurposed, in my opinion, the Manta a little bit for that.
Okay, Will?
For which of the several monsters?
So we're doing Cobra Monster first.
Cobra Monster, while fun, I would say probably an A rank. Just for lack of detail.
So, since Will and I... Yeah. So since Will and I put that at A, we're going to go ahead and leave it there. Octopus Monster. It was a silly design. It definitely looked like an octopus, but it was just a silly design, and it had silly moves, and it just wasn't anything great. Personally, I would put that as a C. Like, it wasn't awful to look at. You could tell what it was, but it didn't really do much. Like, It was there for some comedic effect, but that was about it.
Yeah.
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 It was more of a joke than an actual monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all agree with C?
It's
Yeah,
the middle of the
I'm down
road,
with
true
that.
middle. I'm okay with that.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Samurai Ant Monster. I think I'm going to catch everybody off guard here, but I think it's a D.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Reason being, obviously, I don't have any love for the episode. So that was already a knock against it. 2, it did look good, and I liked the firing from its butt, because that's what stands out to me.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's all that stands out, why should I care? Like, it's not awful,
Yeah.
it's just... I don't know.
Not amazing.
It just didn't resonate with me.
Fair.
That's fine. That's fine.
But what about you guys?
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think much of it. I honestly thought it was an armored version of a Double Man for a little bit. I really didn't think it was its own monster for a very long time. So, yeah, I would say it's like a B or a C monster. Not as bad as the
way
mole,
that you
but
described it made it sound like it was either going to be D or F.
like, okay, F to me is that mole. As funny as it was seeing it run forward, that shit was horrible. At least it looked like a monster and it had some individuality to it. So it's like a C or it's like a C monster to me. It wasn't anything impressive. Its attacks were more important than its actual looks.
What about you, Will?
I would put it in C, mostly for the head design. The head design pulls off what it's going for really well.
Ranked here.
Okay, I will say this. I did laugh really, really hard when I saw the actor reach up to close the mandibles.
He had to move them because they didn't move on their own,
For-
so he had to wiggle them.
Yeah.
Menacingly.
Yeah, he reached up and closed them. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, no, you should just... But,
Now,
yeah,
would you
that
put this above or
made me
below
laugh.
the octopus monster?
Below the octopus monster.
Yeah, below it.
The octopus monster was funny. And interesting.
Alright, and then the last thing that we're ranking, so we can finally end this thing, the fire monkey monster. Personally, for me, this goes in A. Like, it's almost an S rank monster, but it's not there yet. And because it's an A, I do think that it does go above the Cobra monster, just because it's so close to wanting to be an S rank.
I'm down with giving it an A.
Yeah. I agree with that. I can see that.
And above Cobra?
Yeah. There's more detail on it, and it's got the
Yeah.
whole fire breathing
Yeah.
thing. It was cool the way they put it together.
Awesome. Alright, so we've got all of our monsters ranked so far. We've got everybody in their respective ranks. So we've got the Fire Monkey and Cobra monsters in the A. We've got Octopus Monster and Samurai Ant Monster in C. And that's it. So guys, thank you for joining me this evening. We'll be back on Wednesday for Gavan Infinity Episode 3. So thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check us out on Blue Sky, YouTube, all your favorite podcast channels, whether it's on Podcast Addict, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to check out our other show, Big Mecha But Not Huge. So that's all I got, guys. Toku for 2 activated. Have a good night.
Night, everybody.
Electroplate!